I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. And if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Satisfaction. And that is something all of us can be feeling for one reason or another in the next week, and that is due to a lot of light in the sky that appeared 2 days ago when we had a full moon at 8 degrees of Sagittarius. First of all, 8 is the number of success. So that satisfaction that could be coming up for you might have something to do with success somewhere in your life. But it's really because Sagittarius is the traditional ruler of the 9th house of the higher mind. So it rules things that have to do with religion and philosophy and your moral values. And it also rules foreign countries and long-distance travel. And it rules the whole judicial system. And so it rules things where there is an evaluation of what is right and what is wrong, or what is good and what is bad. And you could be getting satisfaction in the next week, or you could be feeling sort of calmly reassured about something in your life that is being done very well, or can be done for the right reason. And that can really satisfy you, which is great. And that's because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of goodness. And so that simply means that the emphasis can be on doing things right, or it can be on doing what is fair and upright, or what is good for the best of all of us. Or it can be that you can be satisfied because you're trying to do your best, which would be great. And so this is a time when all of us are going to be able to feel some satisfaction, even if it is only quietly. However, we know that under a full moon, the moon opposes the sun. So 2 days ago, the full moon was at 8 degrees of Sagittarius, and it was opposing the sun in Gemini, also at 8 degrees. And there was a third planet involved, because Neptune, which is the ruler of Pisces and is at home in the sign it rules, was squaring that full moon, and it is also squaring the sun in Gemini. Pisces rules things hidden behind the scenes, and so it rules omissions and deception. So it might be a little hard under the full moon to know who to trust, or it could be a little hard to detect who is really telling the truth and who isn't. So you have to be a little bit careful about that. Nevertheless, there are so many positive aspects in the heavens right now that there is an underlying sense of satisfaction that can come to all of us for one reason or another. For example, in the water signs, which are very healing, Venus is in Cancer, is trining Jupiter in Scorpio, and those two wonderful planets are trining Neptune in Pisces. Jupiter is at 16 degrees in Scorpio, and Neptune is at 16 degrees in Pisces. 16 is a number that reduces to 7 because we reduce numbers by adding their digits. So 1 plus 6 equals 7. 7 is the number of mystery, and 7 is the number of Pisces. So there is the possibility that the water signs can be feeling a sense of satisfaction from knowing that some sort of mystery can be getting solved, or there can be some justice done because the truth is able to be revealed and come out, and therefore when the truth does come out and justice is done, a lot of people can feel a little bit calmer, and their anxiety and their doubts and fears can be reduced. So that is very positive and satisfying. Among the air signs, that sun in Gemini at 8 degrees is trining Mars in Aquarius very closely. Mars is at 5 degrees of Aquarius. So for the air signs, they could be feeling some satisfaction because they may be able to see some project going forward, and it would be a future project because Mars is in Aquarius, which rules the future. And so there can be some dynamic but easy change going on. It might be just in the guise of a creative plan, but it can also be that there are people that are putting some emphasis and some sort of speed on projects that involve the future, and that can be quite satisfying. And then among the hard-working earth signs, there are 4 planets trining each other because Uranus and Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication, are both in Taurus, and Mercury is at the 29th degree of fate in Taurus. And so there could be some last-minute news about a financial investment of yours or about something that has to do with finances, because Taurus is a fixed financial sign, and those 2 planets are trining Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. They're retrograde, which can be indicating that there can be some satisfaction among the earth signs because they may have been working pretty hard on a project or a plan that may have been delayed or postponed for one reason or another, but now it could be getting perhaps some more funding or additional financing, and now it could go forward, and that could satisfy them as well. So there are all kinds of reasons for us to be feeling pretty satisfied, and that is what you have to look forward to. But actually, the greatest satisfaction just might be coming from a deep feeling within yourself that you are feeling more secure and satisfied about your true feelings. And that is just not your true feelings about your loved ones, but your true feelings about what is really right, or about doing the right thing and doing it for the greatest good or the benefit of others. That is really what Sagittarius means at its highest, being fair and good to everyone. And so this is a time when you may be much more in touch with your feelings and be feeling satisfied, because what is really right or doing the right thing can be quite clear to you now, and it could be something that is dear to your heart, and that is what can make you feel inspired now to do your very best, which is good. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, the full moon 2 days ago in Sagittarius was trining your sun sign. Well, there isn't anything in your sun sign or in Leo, but that full moon could be inspiring you, Aries, because it simply means that you could hear from someone at a distance, or you could be planning a long-distance trip. Sagittarius rules that. Or you could be inspired by people who want to do their greatest good or do something for the benefit of others, which is really important to everybody, and you could be rather enthused about that and even joining in with others. So there is the possibility that you can be really going forward and doing something for the right reasons, and that could be satisfying to you. At the same time, Venus in Cancer is squaring your sun, which means there could be a home or a real estate problem that could be a little bit challenging, or a family problem that could be sort of problematic, but you could work your hardest to solve it if you wanted to. And then the thing that you really have to worry about is that Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring your sun, and they could mean that particularly in a career environment or a job environment, you could be challenged to conform to rules and regulations that could be sort of cramping your style. But believe me, I hope you decide to do that, Aries, because those 2 planets are going to be squaring your sun sign until the year 2020. And so you are not going to have everything your own way. You are going to have to sort of conform or adjust to management changes or budget cuts. But I think you can do that. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I think that you can be feeling satisfaction from something that had been delayed, a project or a plan of yours that can now go through. It may have been delayed on purpose. Maybe you had just a very long timeline on a goal of yours, but because Uranus and Mercury are in your sun sign, and Mercury is at that fateful 29th degree, you could be hearing some news, or you could be implementing the final stages of a plan or a project that could perhaps get some additional funding, or at least could sort of get off the ground and go forward right now, and that could give you a sense of satisfaction. So I think you've got some good news, or you could just be even looking at a good challenge right now, or even more work to do, but it could be the kind of thing you really like to do, Taurus, so I think you would enjoy it and be rather successful at it, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when I think that you're going to be energized by others. And the reason why is that although the full moon in Sagittarius at 8 degrees was exactly opposing the sun in your sign, and Neptune in Pisces is squaring your sun sign, still, Gemini, with that marvelous trine from Mars in Aquarius to the sun in your sign, you can be energized by other people who have a sort of an urgent drive or an urgent need to get some future plans underway. In other words, you could be happy to be in the talking stages, but they want to go ahead and do things because Mars is such an energetic planet. So I think you're going to be rather satisfied that other people can sort of pick up the ball and sort of run with it right now and help you move forward, Gemini. And that could really make you happy. It's just that it'd be a little, they might even have a hidden reason why they want to get going on something. But I think that would be all right with you, Gemini, because the communication is fine between you and someone else, and they are perhaps a little more motivated than you, but that's just fine because it'll get you going in the end, and you can just move a lot closer to success. So congratulations. All right, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, there is a grand trine in water signs, and Venus is in your sign, so that could make you happy because you could be in a very loving and peacemaking frame of mind. And you could feel a lot of satisfaction right now from knowing that there is some truth coming out from behind the scenes that really can enlighten you. And at the same time, because that truth can be coming out, and that would be because something is being done right. And by right, I mean something that you would agree with, or the method is something that is for the good of all. So you would be happy about that. And at the same time, as the truth comes out, justice could be done because Jupiter is in Scorpio, also trining your sun. So that is wonderful. I think you're going to be very satisfied with the results of something this week, Cancer. And it could be something that sort of validates the way you feel or your standards. In other words, your performance standards or your standards of excellence could be validated, and that could make you sort of proud and happy. So I'm happy to say that that could be on your plate or coming soon to you. At the same time, Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are opposing your sun sign, and they are opposing Venus in your sun sign. And so that simply means there is the possibility of a betrayal, either in your career or your workplace, or having something to do with your public reputation. That doesn't mean that your public reputation can be tainted. It can simply mean that there can be a necessary betrayal, meaning the possibility of management changes or budget cuts, which you would more or less just have to face. But on the other hand, you're going to be very satisfied with justice and truth coming to the fore and validating some of your values, which is nice. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when you benefit, as well as Aries does, from the fact that the full moon was trining your sun sign in Sagittarius. And that simply means you could be hearing from somebody far away or from an educational institution. Sagittarius rules 4-year colleges and universities and graduate schools, so there could be some favorable news there. Or you could be hearing from someone who's very enlightened. In other words, they have a very high moral sense of morals, or they like to do things for the good of others, or they can be from a foreign country and of a culture that is very compatible or agreeable with your set of values as well, Leo. So all of that could be sort of nice for you. The thing that you need to watch out for is the fact that there is some news coming to you, and it should be rather soon. And it is news that involves a financial matter. And it can be a financial matter that was either delayed or postponed before, or there will be some change in the finances. And that is because Mercury is at the 29th degree of Taurus, squaring your sun, and Uranus, that unstable planet of volatility, is also in Taurus, squaring your sun, and Jupiter in Scorpio, is the other fixed financial sign, is also squaring your sun. So there is going to be some sort of financial problem or dilemma that you will have to deal with. But on the other hand, you can be feeling satisfied, because I think there's somebody rather nice around you, a Leo, that can be a big help to you and can share your spiritual values or your moral values, and that can be very satisfying and comforting to you as well. So good luck on solving those financial problems. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when I think that you need to be extremely cautious in relationships. And remember, I said that the full moon in Sagittarius is, it's actually squaring your sun sign, and it is opposing the sun in Gemini, which is also squaring your sun sign. And then Neptune in Pisces is squaring both of the lights, and it is opposing your sun sign. So somewhere in your life, Virgo, there is somebody that has been telling you something that would sound quite agreeable to you, and they're doing the exact opposite of it. In other words, somebody has told you a real whopper of a lie, Virgo, and you could be somewhat disillusioned when the truth comes out about that, which it is somewhat aspected to do. So that wouldn't be too satisfying. But on the other hand, that's in a relationship of one sort or another. It doesn't have anything to do with your career or your investments, which can be stellar right now. They can be working out really well. You could be quite satisfied with them, Virgo, because Uranus and Mercury, your own ruler in Taurus, are trining your sun, so you could get some last-minute good news about an investment. And then Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun, meaning that when justice is done, or even if there are some management reductions or budget reductions, they would tend to benefit you, and you could be in total agreement about that as well, Virgo. So stick to business this week, and don't worry about the relationships. You're not the one that is causing the problems, but when the truth comes out, you could be disillusioned a little bit by somebody who has been telling you or has been appearing to be completely opposite from the way they really are. And you'll more or less have to step back and just swallow that, and then look at the positive side. You're doing fine, Virgo. Just remember that. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when you too, just like Gemini, can really benefit from somebody who's rather eager to get a future project underway. And that is because the sun in Gemini is trining your sun, and so is Mars in Aquarius. And so there is somebody who's sort of all revved up and quite eager to get something underway, and they could be pressing you. There could be a sense of urgency about you joining them and doing whatever you can on a future project as well. That might be just fine with you, Libra, and that's because there could be a sense of satisfaction at you being needed by others, and also you would have an opportunity to give your input into a future project, and you could be highly valued for that. The aspects of these planets to your sun sign are quite good. But at the same time, Venus, your own ruler, is in Cancer squaring your sun, which means there can be a home, family, or real estate matter that's a little iffy right now or contentious. And then Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring your sun and will continue to do that until the year 2020. And so there are always going to be challenges at work or that have to do with your public reputation, and so you need to be a little bit careful about that. But you certainly could get a sense of satisfaction at sort of being urged to jump in on some future project, and I think you're going to be happy with that and be very successful, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, there is a grand trine in the water signs right now, and that full moon in Sagittarius was right ahead of your sun sign, so you could see the potential to do something wonderful, something that's for the greater good. And it could involve your sense of morals or values as well. Or there is the possibility that you can be thinking of taking a long-distance trip, because Sagittarius rules travels, particularly to foreign countries. All of that could work out quite well for you, but your sense of satisfaction could also be coming from the fact that Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun, so there can be a mystery that is getting solved, or soon will be, and it will result in justice being done. This can be something that benefits your family or your country as well, since Venus in Cancer is trining your sun sign too. So I think you're going to be happy with that, Scorpio. You're going to be satisfied that something now is being done well, or it's being done for the right reasons. So you could be in total agreement. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when, with the full moon in your sign, that there could be a lot of light on you, Sagittarius. And although your sign is not being fortified, there are no planets in Aries or Leo, still your sign represents the greater good, or high values, or the higher mind. In other words, it's a very intelligent sign, and it's ruled by Jupiter, the planet of goodness. Jupiter is in Scorpio, right behind your sun sign, so you know very intelligent people, and they are in the background of your life, Sagittarius, and you can be involved with them. So I'm thinking that you can be quietly satisfied by the things that you're doing a little bit behind the scenes that can be quite helpful, and they do involve financial matters that can be working out pretty well for you, even if you're only in the planning stages and you're not talking to anybody else about them. But on the other hand, it's probably good you're not talking to a lot of people right now, Sagittarius, and that is because under a full moon, the sun opposes the moon. So other people have their own ideas which are quite different from yours, so you don't need to waste your time discussing anything with them. And then Neptune in Pisces is squaring your sun, and was squaring the full moon in your sign, and that means you could be easily deceived by people who seem to be telling the truth, but it could be a little bit hard to detect whether they're telling the truth or not. And in fact, you would need to test them again and again before you believe them right now. So it's probably good that you're a little bit busy behind the scenes beneficially, and that very few people know about it right now. So keep up the good work, Sagittarius. It can do you a lot of good soon. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time with that full moon in Sagittarius right behind your sun sign, that there is a lot of light in the background of your life. People can see what you're doing, Capricorn. And if you're doing things well and for the right reasons, they can be very proud of you, and that can give you a sense of satisfaction, because maybe they'll let you know that. On the other hand, you can be feeling satisfied too at the results of some hard work that you have been doing, or of plans that you've had for a very long time, some of which may have been postponed or sort of on hold. But now with Mercury at 29 degrees of Taurus trining your sun, you can hear some last-minute good news about something that is now going forward. And, you know, it could be the result of your hard work, or it could simply be that something you've had on the back burner for a while is now going to be able to move forward. And that could really be encouraging to you, Capricorn, and give you a sense of satisfaction, particularly for never having given up. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when I think that you can be really energized, and that's because Mars is in your sign, and that's an energetic planet. It's also a planet that can cause people to be angry very easily, so you sort of have to keep a lid on your temper and try not to be impatient right now. But that could be hard for you because you're so energized and motivated to go forward on a future project. And the sun in Gemini is trining Mars in your sign closely. And so I think you're going to be able to do that, Aquarius. At the same time, there can be financial problems that haven't been resolved yet, but with the help of others that you're communicating with, or even the possibility of acquiring new partners, you could get some help with that financing. In other words, you don't have to do everything yourself, Aquarius, because you shouldn't even try that. Uranus and Mercury in Taurus are squaring your sun. Jupiter in Scorpio is squaring your sun. Maybe you should just use your energy to do the planning or get a project underway and rely on partners to work a little bit more on the financial side of it for you. And that way you wouldn't be coming up against hard challenges. You'd have a little bit of help because someone else was doing that instead. So save your energy for really getting the job done right now, Aquarius, because you could be successful at that. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is simply a time when I think that you can certainly benefit from the grand trine in water signs, meaning that as a secret comes out or a mystery is solved, that could probably help your family life a lot, or it could make other people very happy and satisfied because then they'd be able to deal with the truth, whatever that truth is. And also justice could be done because Jupiter in Scorpio is trining your sun. So this is not a time to be hiding anything, Pisces. This is a time to come straight out and say what's on your mind, because it could mean that you are able to express your deep satisfaction about your loved ones. That would be good. Or about something that you feel is very, very important, something that has been done well or could be done for the right reasons. And so in a way, I think you could really bring out the angel side of yourself right now, Pisces, if you wanted to, and I think that could make everyone satisfied with you as well. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show, read our blog, and hear our podcast on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.